Hi, this is Dr. Don, and this is an addendum to part 2 of the data wrangling series. I wanted to show you a couple of other ways to get data into and out of StatCrunch, because I think the way I showed you before of copying and pasting is okay, but I think if you use the tools that are built into StatCrunch, and StatCrunch is getting better and better at enabling you to input and output your data. And I've opened up StatCrunch here on the screen, and just looking at the first page, we've got a section that's called My Data, and we can select a file on my computer, go to a website somewhere, put data directly into a form, which is what I did. We can go to Dropbox, Google Drive, and there again, getting data into a data table the way I showed you before. Well, let's just start. I'm going to click on select a file on my computer, and then it gives me this interface, and the first thing I have to do is either to drag a file over here or choose a file. I'm going to use the choose file and navigate to something, and I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to click on this is Martha's data, and I modified it slightly. One of the things that I notice in working with StatCrunch is that if you've got a single tab workbook, it works better if you're trying to get into StatCrunch. If you've got a multiple tab workbook, multiple worksheet workbook, then StatCrunch can get confused trying to figure out which of the worksheets you want to work on. So this one here I prepared. It's just the data we were working on yesterday. I'm going to double click that, and it offers up what it thinks it looks like, and there's the name, Martha Data Sim All, and to actually load it, you got to scroll down to the very bottom below these pictures and click on Load File. And there you can see is our data that we were working with yesterday. Our well, actually, one of the things it did do, which is I warned you about yesterday, it brought in that first column I have in which I had numbered the responses. That's okay, we can work around that. And then we've got our 10 variables there. I renamed it on my Excel spreadsheet so it would come in properly. So we can start working again with this data. The other thing I want to show you about just getting data in and out of StatCrunch, there's a data tab that we use a little bit when we're computing things, but there's also a load and an export. The load option, you can go from a file, which does just what I did. I can navigate back to my computer and load a file, or I can go to these various groups there, various locations, and load data into StatCrunch. The other thing you can do, you can export, and I know I showed you some intermediate output that we got from analysis, and I copied sections of the StatCrunch worksheet and then paste them into Excel. The other thing you can do is click on Export, select the columns that you want to export, and you can actually do some, and I'll show you how to do this later, you can build relationships and parse your data. Select, for example, if I just wanted to send back only the data that were males, I could set up an expression to do that, but I'll show you that a little bit later. And it offers up the comma delimited, which of course will open up right away in Excel. And then it offers up a file name, and if you click export, it will export that, and you'll see it drop down to the bottom. It goes to your download directory on your computer. So that's useful. The thing that I really have found to be useful, and it's experimental, but it's been on there for several months. I like it. If you click on StatCrunch, there's this new thing called Session, and you can upload and download sessions. Now, what sessions are, as you work on your data and you run a number of processes, StatCrunch keeps all that information for you. Even though you click on a dialog box and it disappears, StatCrunch keeps it. And you can download that entire session, which it keeps all the intermediates that you can. I'll just show you. I'm going to upload a session that I downloaded yesterday. And I'm going to go to my download directory. And here you can see I downloaded 4 times yesterday, 5 times yesterday from StatCrunch. I'm going to double click on that first one. And it's selected. And I'm just going to say upload. Wow. You see, it brought up that session I was working on, and that was the last process that I was working on. Over here in the StatCrunch, you can see the little 21 up there. That tells me that I've got all these results, all those intermediate things I was doing. StatCrunch has saved, and I can just call those up. There's my summary stats, and it gives you that. You can edit those, compute, and it'll redo that under a new page. Here we go. If I go to, I did a one-way ANOVA, and I'll show you how to do that. It gives me my intermediate output there. And so it saves all those. And really all you have to do again is when you're in the process of working, so you don't have to reload and reconstruct everything, just go to StatCrunch, Sessions, Download, and give it a name, and then click on Download, and it downloads. So you can sign out of StatCrunch comfortably. Anyway, that's some information about getting data into and out of StatCrunch.